Whether you're an SDR, a BDE,
a commercial director, or a chief revenue officer,
this is the show for you.
The dirty word in business.
And yet, the lifeblood for any business.
It's the S word.
Sales.
This show puts the fun back in sales, where myself, Tash Rebuck, and my co-host,
Steph Melodia,
deep dive into outreach strategies,
review effective sales tactics,
and even cold call live on air.
Learn from us or laugh at us.
That's what we're here for.
Now, sit back and relax as we talk about what no one else wants to.
Welcome to the S word.
Welcome back if you are tuning back in. We are so happy to have you here. And if you are new, then a very warm welcome. Before we dive in, you know what we want you to do. Please hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're listening to this. It doesn't cost a single thing. It takes 2 seconds, and we are giving you that 2 seconds right now. Thank you so much. All right, we are back in the hot seat, cold calling. See what we did there?
Exactly. Yeah. And I offer myself up as sacrifice. I will be doing the first cold call of the day.
The best person for the job. So if you are new here, we are putting live to the test. We are putting our money where our mouth is, so to speak, and we are picking up the blower, cold calling prospects live on the air. I think mainly for your entertainment, but hopefully you can learn a thing or two, definitely from Tash at least anyway.
What? I'd love to make a bit of money off it as well.
That's the cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any advice someone gets from a cold calling session that isn't to do with cold calling, is never do anything for free.
Love it. All right, we've got our first lead lined up.
Let's see how we do.
Love it.
Should I leave a very good
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person you are calling is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Hey, this is the weirdest voicemail you're ever going to get, because this was recorded live on a podcast, because we created a business podcast all about sales and the things that founders are missing from their lives, and we reckon might be one of the things they're missing when it comes to marketing. So we're the sales experts. We'd love to have a chat to you about sponsorship. So if you are interested or you're open to our media pack, give me a call back, send me a text, whatever you fancy, but it would be lovely to hear from you. Thanks. Bye.
And that's how it is done. So heads up, gang, there is a very high probability that people won't pick up the phone to you. So we do our best to edit out the calls that actually do get answered. But the reality is, it is a numbers game.
100%. I mean, you can call for over an hour, maybe call about 50 or 60 people, depending on how fast you move through it. And realistically, you may only speak to 1 or 2 people.
Wow.
But those 2 people you speak to, you are more likely to book a meeting with one of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes total sense. All right. Shall I give it a go?
Yes, please.
Okay. So last time we did this, guys, nobody answered.
Oh,
Tash nearly spat out a drink. That one didn't even go through.
Hello.
Hi, is this?
Yes, this is.
Hey, name is Stephanie Melodia. I'm going to be super upfront with you. You don't know me, but I'm actually calling you live from a studio on a podcast. So very, very random. Have you got 2 minutes for a really quick call?
Sure, yeah.
Amazing. So I come from a marketing background. I empathize with challenges and struggles of marketing today. And myself and my co-host who sat here, we're both big fans of. Do you guys ever do any podcast marketing at all? Have you ever considered sponsorships or collaborations on podcast?
I think we have in the past. I'm not sure if we've done any recent ones at the moment.
Okay, amazing. Is it something you'd be open to exploring, especially coming into 2026 and the new year? Hello? It still hasn't hung up on me. Can you... The call failed.
oh, you lost signal.
I didn't say I did.
Give him a call back. Call him back.
Yeah, straight away. Don't worry.
Hi, sorry, I think just cut off.
Hey, I know. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, whether I lost signal. Can you hear me now? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's all
Amazing. So yeah, just curious, is podcast sponsorship something that might be on your radar at all for 2026, especially coming into the new year?
Yeah, I'd have to talk to other people.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it could possibly.
Yeah, amazing. Would you like to take a look at our media kit if I send it across to you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, can I just double check I've got the right email for you?
Yeah, sure.
Is it then your surname.com?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, we're calling from a new sales show that we're launching. It's all just purely specialized in sales. Obviously, target audience is sales professionals, hence wanting to reach out to obviously I think it'd be perfect kind of brand partner. Not only that, but I mentioned that I used to work in marketing for my sins as well, so I can empathise with a lot of the challenges I'm sure you're facing on a daily basis, Rayanne. But basically, from my perspective, what I'm genuinely seeing is there is this chasm between social media, you know, paid ads not getting the same results as they used to, and then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got the unaffordable traditional media. And so, of course, I'm now biased because I'm now a podcast host, but there is genuinely this chasm in between of effectiveness when it comes to podcast advertising. So, yeah, so I was curious to hear if that's ever something that you've ever looked at before. And yeah, just to get your kind of reaction to that.
Yeah, I'm having troubles with my emails at the moment. So if you could send, I'm actually just was talking to the support team to try and fix it, but if you can send it towards the end of the week or maybe early next week.
Yeah, of course.
I should be able to receive it because, yeah, I'm not really getting anything at the moment. So
okay, yes. That sounds like a huge blessing, especially now coming into the festive season. I'm sure that's working in your favour. Amazing. All right, thanks for the heads up on that. We'll send it later on in the week, and I'll follow up with you next week if that's okay, just to make sure it all came through.
Okay, sure.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Great to talk to you. Thanks for picking up the phone. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care. Bye, bye, bye. That was probably the first...
Well,
that's probably the first
done.
ever... Like, someone's picked up, I've got through, I actually had a conversation. Like since we did it when you came on my show, all the times we've done it, because they always pick up to you. That's like my first and only.
Yeah.
Can't jinx it.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
I definitely
you did not
did it.
touch a single piece of wood until the end.
Where's the wood? Where's the wood? Lots of room for improvement.
Amazing,
Thank you.
though.
Appreciate
That
it.
was brilliant. Hell yeah, well done. How do you feel?
I'm just, especially sat across from you, I'm like, there's so much room for improvement. I mean, even while I'm on the phone, I'm like, you know, a trap that we can all fall into as sales experts, which I know you talk about a lot, is like, you've got something you're excited about, you want to tell them about it. And this is where you can fall into like the expertise trap as well, where it's like, yes, I'm kind of trying to demonstrate some credibility with my marketing background, and everything I said, I obviously mean, you know, every single word of that in terms of media effectiveness. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, but I don't want to be the one yapping at you. I want to hear more about what are your challenges with your marketing strategy? Where are you finding the gaps in your media effectiveness? But he seemed open to listening, so not the end of the world. I think the other thing is I would have loved to have actually asked, like, who's in charge?
Yeah.
Like, is there someone else? So this is like a big marketing team. Like,
yeah,
is there someone else we could speak to? Is he even the right person? Like, that's something I didn't qualify. So I appreciate the high five. Obviously we're our own worst self-critics, right? So I know that there's a lot of room for improvement. Any other constructive criticism in addition to what I've already given myself that you want to add to that? Do you want to pile it on, Tash?
Yeah, I do actually. It was shit. No, I think for one, like, I think that is so good, and like, it is so hard to do a cold call and to not sound then nervous when you're on the call, and you didn't, which is so important.
Right.
And you made him have a laugh. You were personable. I think that, like, objectively, it was a really good call. I would have loved to have learnt more about their team.
Yeah.
When he said we've done it before, I wanted to ask, oh, how did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, have you not done it because it didn't, like, what was the
exactly?
How did it?
Yeah.
And then when he said about the team, I wanted to be like, is there like quite a big group of you who do it? Is there someone who does the podcast? because I would have wanted a meeting. And so I would have asked about that to have then gone, amazing. Can I ask you a really impossible question or pose something impossible to you? What would be the chances the team would be up for like a group call? We could even do it on air. So like, even if you don't sponsor us, you getting a shout out anyway. It's a kind of crazy thing to do before the end of the year. Would you be up for it?
Hello?
Hey, this is Tash calling from the S Word. This is really weird. I'm actually calling you from a podcast being recorded. Would it be all right if I grabbed you just for like 10 seconds to tell you why?
Yeah, sorry, you broke up the last bit.
Oh, no worries. Basically, it's an odd one. I'm calling you live from a podcast.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear every few words.
Ah, okay, sorry, my signal isn't great.
Do you want to try back with my number?
Is it a bit clearer now?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I'm not going to lie, I'm in the oddest position right now, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm basically calling because we are launching a podcast off the back of a very successful previous podcast by my co-host, all about sales. And we obviously love sales and marketing experts, and we're looking to just have some conversations with people really early stage about potential sponsorships and what that might look like.
I'm actually on maternity leave.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't worry.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But my colleague will be able to help if you drop her an email.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I will. Thank you.
At all.
Oh, well, congratulations. And, you know, I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Do you know how many times I've called up someone and they've been on maternity leave?
What's interesting, and I think that this is a comment on the wider world, people don't put it on their LinkedIns anymore, because I would have known not to have called her if it was on LinkedIn. Yeah, for sure. But maybe it was. I don't think it was. Anyway, I once called someone they were at a funeral. And do you know what I said, Steph? I'm so sorry for your loss. Would it be better if I called you tomorrow? They said yes.
Why not? The funeral was over by then.
You've got to ask. And genuinely, they were like, yeah, no, it's fine. I wasn't that close to them. Call me tomorrow. And I was like, but like, fair. We've all been at those funerals. Oh, but we've got another name. We've got now. Just so everyone who's watching this knows what you should do next when these things happen, is you go, fantastic. I now know. Hey, just had a really lovely chat with who was like so kind to take a time to chat to me whilst on maternity, but said this was something quite cool and fun and exciting. So I just wanted to send you an email, blah, blah. Although what I just want to have a little look is I'm just going to see if I can find and her phone number.
100%.
And that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just saying like, hey, spoke with so-and-so, how lovely of her on maternity to take the time. She recommended I reached out about blah, 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 sponsoring our sales podcast. Would you be free to chat? That's it.
Perfect. Love it. Let's call her straight away.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Fantastic. On the funeral thing.
If you're after support, email.
Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Hey, this is Stephanie Melodier. I'm the host of a top sales business show, and I guarantee this is probably going to be one of the weirdest voicemails that you've got definitely this year, because I'm actually calling you live on the air from the studio. Myself and my co-host Tash Rebuck, who is a sales specialist, we're both fans of and wanted to chat to you about your marketing strategy and whether you've ever considered podcast marketing at all. We'd love to have a chat sometime. We'd love to hear back from you. Thanks a lot. Take care.
I know the last thing you want right now while you are thoroughly enjoying our episode is to hear some sort of shout out or ad, but guess what? That's the only way we're able to keep being here and helping you learn about sales. So while you're sitting there going, how annoying of them to interrupt me, just hit that subscribe button. Just like and follow. It helps us so much. It makes a massive difference and it means we can keep doing this. So take that second to subscribe, like, follow, and we can get back on the show. Hey, this is Tash. I'm giving you the strangest call in the world because I'm actually calling you live from a podcast. Is it possible to steal you for just like a minute and a half?
Yeah, I'm driving, but sure, sounds interesting.
Amazing. I'll try not to be too exciting, and just in case I endanger your driving. So basically, the reason why I'm calling is myself and my co-host have launched a podcast all based around sales and what it means to small, big, large businesses, and really a lot of it is around why people don't like it and how to make it better and easier. And one thing we're doing is we're looking into what are the tools, what are the organizations that do make sales easier, and obviously sales is 100% one of them. I mean, any client that works with me, I immediately get onto it. So basically wanted to chat to you and see if ever sponsoring podcasts was something that has done before.
So what you're saying is using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's not something I've ever used, to be honest. Like I've done a trial with it, but most of my sales I do through social media platforms, not LinkedIn. So basically running ads on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. I never really use LinkedIn. I do post on it, but I've never actually used it to sell, if that makes sense.
That's so interesting. It's so rare to speak to someone in sales who isn't obsessed with LinkedIn and just constantly on it. Can I ask, what do you find? Is it because you're B2C that it's a bit easier to use things other than LinkedIn?
So what I do is basically I work with sort of trades and construction businesses who sell. They sell B2C, right? Homeowners, that sort of thing. But I found that not a lot of my target market is actually on LinkedIn. Like the trade industry, residential trade industry anyway, isn't really on LinkedIn. Commercial obviously is, but that's just not really something I do. It's, yeah, domestic residential. So I've always found that Facebook, Instagram is sort of where those sorts of people will hang out more. There are obviously people on LinkedIn, but to be honest, I've probably just not tried hard enough with it to make it work.
I so get that. Well, look, I appreciate it so much. I know this was incredibly random. And yeah, not something you expect to just be randomly asked about a random sales tool, but I genuinely appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, yeah, interesting call. What's the podcast called?
So it's called The S Word because obviously sales is usually seen as like the dirtiest word in business and everyone says that they hate it, but also desperately needs it.
Yeah, well, there's not much business without sales, is there?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but it is also a little bit taboo, I guess.
100%. No worries at all. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and have a safe drive and a lovely rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye.
So that was interesting. So, gang, that clearly was not who we were intending.
Did you just prank me?
I did not. I promise this was not
me.
I would prank you in other ways. I would not prank.
That was crazy. Also it worked to have a conversation still.
I'm so impressed you still managed to have a conversation because I would have just been like, bye. That was really weird. So, gang, if this has ever happened to you before, like this was a fairly common name, this must have been a mix-up on the tool that we're using. So there were 2 mobile phone numbers that came up. So while Tash was on the phone, I double-checked, because of course I was like, wait, have I made a mistake? What's happened? We had their LinkedIn profile here in front of us. which checked out but didn't at all align with any single thing this guy was saying. That was such a curveball. With no,
but he's
don't
still
really
in
use it.
sales, and that's fascinating. He was still in sales. I mean, just a massive coincidence.
So crazy.
And obviously, he's a sales consultant or trainer or advisor of some capacity.
So random.
What are the chances?
That was weird.
Really weird.
What do you think about trying the other phone number for the same
100%.
person?
I was going to say, let me.
Okay.
Now I'm ready.
That was so random. I mean, very
And,
quickly we caught on to the fact that this wasn't the right person as soon as they admitted to never even using the tool themselves.
I mean, I was like, okay, well, that's a weird thing to admit when you worked for the company, but sure, go off, king.
Kudos to you again for managing to continue.
No, I don't think that you should do marketing for this shit tool. I don't even use it.
That was such a curveball. Imagine we're calling the person's lead at the company.
Yeah, but actually, just as a little thing, obviously, we're recording live, and this is someone who I've called out the blue, and usually if I was doing cold calling, this is more of like a hot tip for people who are doing calling, just immediately say you've called the wrong person. But for me, I was a bit like, oh, I wonder if there's something here. And also I was like, oh, fun, can I bullshit this? So I had a bit of fun there. But whenever you do call, if you do get the wrong person, to just go, oh my gosh, I've completely called the wrong person. And I was going to do that, but then I was like, nah, do it for the content.
YOLO. Do it for the content. Great tip. Okay, love that. So let's try this other number.
Yeah.
So I think where we have got a good chance here.
Hi, you've reached James Davis. I've now left you for us, so if you need to contact me, please do so via WhatsApp.
Okay.
Did that voice sound different to you?
Yes.
That was a different person.
Yeah, that was a different person. Okay, here we go. I need to find someone new to call. This is my step-by-step of how I'm going to find people with a completely blank slate.
Love it.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I need to make my list. So I'm going to pop onto because I'm going to be finding people through. It's just easier for me to start there. So I go on to my leads, and I am going to put in I'm going to go so easy. I'm going to go podcast marketing. See if anyone actually comes up. And I'm going to say in the UK so that I can call them at a respectful time. Okay, no, what I have got is a lot of people who are doing podcasts. I'm going to instead change that to what's the perfect title of someone who would do marketing, but like, what's the phrase? It's not out of home because that's like billboards and stuff, but what's like on rather than digital marketing?
So,
good question.
sorry to not give you that is a great question, and I'm going to apologise straight away for not giving you a short answer because there's a huge variation.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the organisation, the size of the organisation, so one trap that you could fall into, obviously we're targeting the marketing department, but a term, a job title that this could easily fall into the bucket of is demand generation. So that has nothing to do with, it's not even like the word marketing, right? So this is one of the advantages that you've got, having a professional marketer as your co-host that kind of has this insider, intel. So you've got things like demand generation, digital marketing still works. A tried and tested previous client, their job title was VP of marketing, marketing manager, content marketing, community engagement. Were any of these along the lines? Because I know obviously you had something in mind. Where were you going with?
No.
Something like that.
I think that all of it makes sense.
Brand marketing.
Yeah.
So the bigger the team, the more specifics that you're going to be having, the more specialisms.
Yeah.
Obviously, if this is a smaller company, then you'd be lucky if you even just get a single marketing manager, right? Maybe the founders doing some of it themselves, depending. But obviously for us, and this is part of this initial lead qualification, is targeting companies of a certain size, because the size of your marketing department is going to be an indicator in and of itself of the size of the company, the size of the budgets that they potentially have, and the marketing budget. Because if you've got enough marketing budget to hire, let's say, 3 full-time marketing professionals, then you're going to have at least the same again in media spend. And then you think about it that way. And if you heard my cold call, the little tidbit there was if you look at the media landscape and you've got paid social, which, is the first port of call that any marketing team does. Not everyone does out of home, traditional media.
Yeah.
And so this really is an opportunity to get that multiplier effect in. So while I've rambled on a little bit there, that's given Tash some time to start collating some prospects. So what are you doing now?
Right. So what I've done is I've put in some of the job titles that you've given me, and then I've found businesses that may be looking for the kind of people who'd be listening to this. All of you very clever business owners or experienced salespeople, or just people who think we're very funny. Hi, Mum. And our partners. So I have found a few people that I think could be within the realm of, interested in advertising. I've gone to their profiles just to make sure that they are the kind of people we would want to speak to and that they're still in their roles. I have had a little, as I'm currently doing, check on our number searching tool to make sure that they have numbers. One of them, yes. Two of them, yes. And 3 of them, maybe. Perfect. Okay, so we definitely have 2. I will call these 2 people and maybe the 3rd.
Amazing.
Hello, Diffuse.
Hey, this is Tash. This is hands down going to be one of the weirdest cold calls you've ever given, because I'm currently calling you from a podcast.
Right.
Any chance I can keep you on the phone for like a minute, and not just for good content? Genuinely think this might be interesting for you.
Yeah. Well, you've got my attention.
Well, honestly, it's all I've ever wanted my whole life, so that I'm very pleased to hear it. So I'll give you a little bit of context. So me and my co-host Steph, we have built a B2B sales podcast called The S Word. It's launching in Jan, and it is all about sales, why we shouldn't be so scared of it, and all the lovely things that come with it. And that includes the tools and services that make business growth easier. And I recently came across, as one of my clients were talking about it. I think they were looking at the cybersecurity side. And I just thought, you know what, worth getting in touch, seeing as, my client base, I already know are looking into it, and see if you've ever done anything like sponsored a podcast before.
We haven't. I'm still fairly new in the business. I'm only here 3 months, so.
Congrats.
Yeah. No, they've not done anything like that. I mean, the cybersecurity thing is a bit of a red herring, because, and it's one of the challenges that I have in that the messaging on the website, etc., was done a couple of years ago. But primarily, it's long-term relationships, really strong word of mouth, because the end user, which is HMRC or whatever, has had experience of our people, our projects, when people are then bidding for future projects. I'm not sitting here with a team of 6 or 7 sales guys screaming at me for leads, yeah?
That makes so much sense. Actually, it's really funny, Dave, because my other hat outside of the recording studio, which is really the biggest hat I wear, because it doesn't fit through the door, is I run a sales consultancy business. It's sort of how I ended up being, I like to think, a bit of an authority on these things. And I do actually work with quite a few companies where they don't sell. They're either in mergers and acquisitions or investment companies. So they don't have sales team. They don't need them. But it's about building that future opportunity. So what I might do, if you don't mind, Dave, is I've shot you a connection request on LinkedIn, but I might follow up with you later, because there's a few people I know who do the architecture side with these big government proposals and things like that. So it just could be a few interesting connections there outside of marketing.
How did you find me? Just out of interest.
Oh, I just went onto LinkedIn and looked up who was leading marketing, and you popped up and it said that you were always learning, and I was like, well, he's gonna learn about me.
Right. Okay, well, look, I'll keep an eye out for the connection request. It's good to talk.
Really lovely to chat. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
I think that was a cheeky way of him plugging his own business without paying for the sponsorship.
Yeah, well, we're going
Going
to
on
blur it out. And I did then steal that for my own business, so we'll see if I get a meeting.
Opportunities
after
and
that.
opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Funny.
Oh, that was funny. Okay. I have found a couple more phone numbers.
Hit us. Go for it.
I've run out of my credits now, so I'm going to have to
That's okay, because I have a couple
either pass over to you.
can do as well.
Yeah.
And more.
Or if we can use Apollo for some of the other international calling that isn't America, if there's some other codes, I don't know all the international
We can have a look.
codes, but they're not all America. So like this one, I don't know what this is.
And I'm not completely out yet, and I'll keep putting some.
Perfect. All right, let me try this one. Live on the air anyway.
But we've spoken to people.
Makes a difference, right?
It
Doing
really
a bit
does. 'Cause
earlier.
Wait, you spoke to someone,
Yeah.
and now I've spoken to him. Was there anyone else that we spoke to?
The weird guy that wasn't.
Oh yeah, we've had
who we
3
thought it was.
conversations.
That is a great success.
I had a client who I gave them a bunch of cold calling that they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look, cold calling is just not for everyone.
Mm.
And beyond just like it not being something people are comfortable with or enjoy, it can make them physically unwell of like how worried they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, they called one person. It was actually the wrong number. So the person was like, oh no, sorry, wrong person. They put the phone down and they messaged me and they just said, I'm not doing it anymore. First call, wrong number, not doing it anymore. Not doing it.
That was too much. Don't like it.
That was too much.
No more.
Yeah.
Well, this is where, you know, when you talk about competitive advantage and like unfair advantages in business, whatever it is, it's like we say about like, oh, do the things that don't scale. Do things no one else wants to do. Like if you want to get cut through, we've talked before about how, oh, this was actually something I wanted to share with you. We talk about how everyone's inboxes are inundated.
Yeah.
Hence this kind of resurgence of the cold calling, because with LinkedIn, DMs, like inboxes, all just getting like overloaded, overwhelmed, you've got to try a different tack. Yeah. Something I was going to share with you on this was just yesterday. I got this interesting out of office from someone. They said, out of the office till Monday, thanks for your patience, and please be assured I'll make it a priority to get back to you when I use an AI agent to clear my inbox on Tuesday.
What does that mean?
Interesting. So more and more people are just plugging in these AI tools to just sort through their inbox. So automatically an AI agent is going through the inbox for them on their behalf, because this is exactly the sort of thing that AI is coming in and taking over. Why should you be spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes on your first day back from holiday to sort through, is this junk? Should I respond to this? Is this a follow-up? Can I ignore it? Of course, this AI agent is immediately going to...
Why would you put it in your email?
Yeah, well, this is where it caught my attention.
That would fuck me off.
Well, they don't care about your feelings, I'm sorry to say. But I think it's a great point, because I think, A, they're sort of being a bit tongue-in-cheek with it. And maybe also kind of signalling like they're on the ball, they're with the times, they're using an AI agent. The point is how interesting it was. Why they put it in their email is a whole other thing, right? But what's interesting is that
Is your subject line?
That's what I was testing out since our last recording.
How'd it do?
I put this on Malmeteor.
And how did it say?
Yeah, it delivered. Yeah, the part really caught my attention. So just going back to you saying about, you know, cold calling not being for everyone, I've lost it now anyway.
People don't even look at their emails anymore. They just use...
Like they plug in this AI, and it's not the first time. It's one of the very, very few rare times I've seen it. I'm obviously predicting we're going to see so much more
of it
coming into
100%.
2026 fully. But that just goes to show as well, right? So even though, okay, I've used this great spam checker tool, and you could do, this is what we were talking about, right? We could craft the perfect subject line, craft the perfect email, follow all these best practices, not put a foot wrong. But if an AI agent is coming along and
going, it goes into
it,
cold sales. Yeah. Like if I don't know how these work, but I imagine it has these are the cold sales emails we believe you've received.
Yeah, exactly.
But then this is a bit like spam, right? Every day I check my spam because I know that every now and again something goes into it that shouldn't.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't trust an AI agent because I'd still have to check all those individual boxes to see what's in there.
I don't know how many people check. I mean, I very rarely check spam, right? We can't all assume that we will have those same behaviours. Nowhere near as much as you do. I shall take that on board as well. But it's like having, the old school, like PA, EA, where it's like sifting through all those emails for you. And especially, again, just with that overwhelm, that overload, especially if you're taking a few days off or a full-on holiday, like, oh my God, there's like mountain to get through. And this is, again, that parallel we were saying earlier about SEO, AIO. This is where this is all moving to is, yeah, you're right with, okay, your spam checker historically, traditionally, was just to get into the main inbox of your recipient. But actually now, in the same way with the SEO move, you're also having to now find out ways to combat AI agents. We have an AI specialist coming on the show, so we'll be asking them all about that, because it's true, right? Because if more and more people are going to use this, then instead it's almost like you need a 2.0 of the Mail Meteor spam checker to be like, okay, how do I then
get past an AI agent? Yeah. I just think, and this is definitely something we'll talk about with our guests, but like, I just think it's very interesting. It is, and maybe this is an awful thing to say and we can edit it out afterwards, you can decide. But like, if I was the CEO of a really big company and I would basically not want someone else going through my emails to decide what is important and what is not important for me to read. Because the person I would hire to go through my emails would not have the knowledge or experience I did. And I would say that that's the same with AI because it makes mistakes. And so, yeah, I guess that's just me. But you and I talked about we like to be in control.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just our own.
There are people who do.
Yeah.
There are some that are just like, mega hyper efficiency. And if they trusted a human to do that with them before.
They trust an AI.
I agree with you. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time I've seen about it. And it's just like, it's more, the thing is as well, it's this mindset shift as well. It's so easy. And this is something I'm always very cognizant of. Being addicted to my to-do list, it's really easy to get addicted to that serotonin rush of just checking things off your list. And it doesn't help. It's not conducive to getting in the state of flow, to deep thinking, to coming up with ideas, to thinking long-term strategically. And so especially to your point on like a CEO, all these little things, going through emails, sort of like organizing logistics, meeting, whatever, like these are all low value, constant tasks. It's exactly perfect for AI to come and solve.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to dive into.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick up the cold calling again. Whose turn is it? Okay, amazing. I think this one might be Spanish.
That's okay. Aren't you fluent in Spanish?
Yeah. Shall I do cold calling live on the air, in front of the cameras, in front of a cold calling sales expert in Spanish?
Could you? You're like, no.
Well, I'll give it a go. That would be hilarious. Open up a whole Latino audience.
That would be amazing, actually.
I did, talking of like AI tools, I did an auto dub of some of my episodes in Spanish to test different markets.
Oh, interesting.
It was so weird. It didn't work at all. It completely flopped. Oh, hi, is this... Hey, my name is Stephanie Melodia. I can tell it sounds like you're out and about at the moment. Have you got a quick minute to chat at all? Amazing. Oh, okay, sorry. How about now? Is this any better?
This afternoon I will be in the office.
Oh, okay, perfect. Amazing. I'll try again later. Thanks a lot, Ignacio. Hasta luego. He was on the move. It was all very noisy anyway.
What? He was on the move. He was.
I say so. He was, Steph. Hey, is this...
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Melodia. Have you got a quick second?
I'm at the airport at the moment.
Oh, amazing. Okay, no problem at all. Where are you flying to, Ivo?
To London.
Oh, nice. I'm calling you from London. Are you here coming over for business?
No, just for holidays.
Fantastic. When would be a better time to call you, Ivo? I want to make sure you don't miss your flight.
Yeah, it would be better to call me like probably tomorrow by this time.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'll try again tomorrow. No worries. Safe flight. Bye.
Cute.
It picked up.
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah.
Picked up the phone. It's the little things, it's the little wins.
This is the most people we've spoken to, which I think is a massive learning for the audience, which is it's a morning slot.
Yeah.
And this is the most pickups really in any cold calling session I've ever done.
Definitely.
Is that out of how many people we've called, that's an amazing
That's not bad going.
response rate.
Yeah.
And that's like a 10-15% response rate.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
were to
yeah,
look
yeah.
at like an answer.
Yeah.
And most cold outreach is less than 5%. So like it is, I mean, cold calling is fantastic. It's really, there's nothing better that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I've got someone. Should I try and give them a call?
Nice. Go for it.
Hi, my name is Tash. This is the weirdest cold call you're ever going to get because I'm currently calling you live from a podcast. Any chance I could steal you for like a minute or two and tell you why?
Okay, I like the start. Come on, I'll give you a moment.
Oh God, it can only get worse from here for me, can't it?
That was a very clear. I was about to say I'm really busy in the middle of something, but go on then. We don't want to spoil your podcast.
Well, it is all for the content, really. And if you could just say yes to everything, and then afterwards you can message me and be like, "Bugger off, Tash." That's absolutely fine. Okay, so basically, myself and my co-host, we are launching a sales podcast in January, and it's all about B2B sales and what makes people just like uncomfortable about it, because it's one of the things that SMEs really struggle with and making that next step. And with the audience that my co-host has built on her previous podcast, the expectation is that it's going to do pretty decently, actually. We think we're quite funny. You've laughed at my jokes. That's always a good sign. And basically what we're looking is for really early adopters that are looking to reach the kind of audience of business owners that may be 50 to 200 people. And I recently learned about when one of my clients was implementing some new IT, and I came across you because I always do a bit of research for people. And I just thought worth asking if you've ever sponsored a podcast before.
We haven't sponsored a podcast, but we've done our own little things that are very, very. I can't say amateurish on here now, can I? In case you use.
Oh yeah, and nick it immediately.
They were first stabs at this kind of thing, but nothing serious. We haven't. I don't even know what that would look like. But it's not against the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
So what does sponsoring a podcast look like?
So basically, the way that it's going to work with us is, we absolutely want to have your ads at either, the beginning, middle, end of podcast, but also we're all about educating people and having fun. I like to think we have a bit of fun. And so there's also the opportunity to be able to speak about what you do and maybe actually like even have, I know that I've saw that you've done, a podcast and recordings before. So you never know. Basically, we're really open to what the partnership is. And we're also aware that we're super early days. So what we were hoping is to sort of plan ahead for Jan. And if it's not outside of the realm of possibility, if we could have a call with you in the first couple of weeks of Jan and take you through the media pack since it's coming out, what those initial viewer numbers are like, and just talk through what it could be to potentially sponsor.
Okay, so let's do something like that. Let's throw something in the diary for early January. I was going to say it would have to be January before I get too much seriously.
I'm only thinking about Christmas at this point, if I'm honest with you.
Someone told me it was going to be quiet in December, so I'm on holiday, so I'm off in a week's time for about 2 weeks, which feels like a really bad timing.
Nah, it'll be fine. Don't even think about it. When are you back from your holidays then?
I'm back on the 16th, but then I've got that run up to Christmas, so everything that didn't get done, all they do is then. So why don't you drop me a note? Did you find me on LinkedIn or did you
find me on.
Did you know my email address?
On LinkedIn, so I'm not going to lie, I'll be able to find your email address easily. If I were to send something for maybe the afternoon on either the 8th or 9th, would it be worth just popping it in and then you can tell me if I need to move it?
Yeah, let's do it that way round. Throw it in there, and if it doesn't fit, then I'll come back to you and suggest some alternatives.
Amazing. Oh, thanks. You've absolutely made my day.
Do you know what? It's probably one of the most impressive cold calls I've come across in the last 12 months. So well done on putting it together, Will. And let's have a chat in January and we'll see where it goes.
I love it. I mean, literally, I might as well just leave the studio now because no better compliment is going to come my way. Amazing. I'll speak to you soon. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.
I've been trying to warm up my hand for this. That was amazing. The maestro in action, gang. This is what we're talking about. The education and entertainment right here in front of your eyes. Now the question is, can we top that?
Well, it's your turn now. Can I just say, an hour and 10 minutes, we've called 20 people and I've booked a meeting. Anyone who sits there going, oh, cold calling doesn't work for me, I don't want to do cold calling, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. An hour and 10 minutes. And look, we don't know what we're going to be charging, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility that it could be a 5-figure contract. And in fact, I would say that as a minimum, I would expect it to be a 5-figure contract. An hour and 20 minutes of our time.
Great ROI. Sign me up.
Exactly.
Putting myself in the listener's shoes here, I know this is an annoying devil's advocate, but what would you say to the more skeptical listeners who are like, obviously you smashed that, obviously you're the expert in action and there's so much we can all take away. Some listeners might be thinking, okay, yeah, good for you. You're on a podcast, you're in a studio, you've got a really intriguing hook that you have, which does get pique their interest right away. And like this guy said himself, right? He was like, oh, I was just about to say I'm busy, but actually, there is that intrigue, there is that interest. So as much as you're saying cold calling works, can be very effective, especially, if other people don't like it, that's where, when others zig, you can zag. But if they're sat either home alone or working from the office, they don't have this creativity, this situation to use as the hook.
You need to find what your hook is. This one is a great one. And it's hands down the easiest to start a conversation I've ever had. However, as long as you find out what is good and what's interesting, people do respond to it. So one of the things I'll do is I'll go, look, I know that you're probably desperate to hang up on me immediately, and I can guarantee you no one likes to give or receive a cold call. It's a really good reason why I'm calling you. And people they're like, yeah, all right, go on.
That refreshing honesty, really being upfront about it. Just finding something. Gang, message us, leave a comment and let us know a bit more. If you're having the same sort of struggle, if that same thought crossed your mind as well, tell us that you can DM, you can email us. We'll put the email address in the show notes. Give us a little bit more specifics of your situation, because it is a lot easier for us to maybe give some advice and throw out some ideas than it is just sort of generically, because we don't know everyone's individual situation. But it's finding something. It's finding, just something a bit different as well. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need to be on a podcast.
A bit different, but also what is the thing that will hook someone?
Yeah.
So, for example, there's a client that I do cold calling for at the moment to see if it works. And it does. And the way that I get people to speak to me is I immediately ask them a question that, for one, qualifies them, but also is one that's very easy to answer.
Nice.
I ask what tool they use for, I won't go into more of it, but I ask them if a particular tool is the one they're using. It's a yes or no answer. The wonderful thing is if they say no, I go, I was calling about that, so don't worry, I won't bother you. I move on to the next person. If they say yes, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, fantastic. And because it's a tool they're using, they're familiar with, their assumption is it's something to do with that in terms of I might be calling from that company.
Yeah.
And so that gets them. Sometimes it's being funny. Sometimes it's being interesting. Sometimes it's piquing curiosity.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just asking a really easy question that sort of gets them speaking.
Yeah. Love that. Great tips, as always.
I've had 2 instances this week of outreach, which is good, but like something's just a little bit off about it.
Okay. As in you've received or you've done?
Yeah. Rude. Where I can tell that it's automated, but like just enough in a way that isn't too obvious. Like, okay, for example, and we should absolutely play this in one of our next episodes, and I haven't deleted it for this case, but tell me if you can work out the thing that off-put me with this.
Lovely to connect. I was wondering if you'd be open to new ways of signing more clients.
It's already happened.
I'm not going to pitch you anything without your permission, so if you're up for that, drop me a thumbs up and I'll send you a short clip explaining. If not, no way.
Okay. It's two main things, and one of them really gets on my tits. First of all, the real giveaway is the pause.
Yeah.
That's first of all.
Yeah.
This is like, we've all had those spam calls where you answer, there's a delay, and then it's like, hi, Stephanie. That number one. What pisses me off so much, and obviously neither of us do this, and you would never do this in 1,000 years, is putting on this fake scripted voice. No one talks that way. There's a difference between, obviously, you talk about, you know, bringing up the energy and we put on a bit more of a professional tone and we adjust, like, oh, that's all for sure, right? That's emotional intelligence. But the real giveaway, and like so many people do this, right? The real giveaway, even outside of sales calls, is when you hang up, when you're ending a phone conversation, and some people, they go into the fake, like, yeah, okay, they put on this other voice, you know, like, I mean, I just do it on purpose, but that's the problem here. This is the second big problem, and this is what really gets me, and we're going to talk much more about this as well, but it's, you're not talking to me as another human, which is what you're all about. You're so clearly, you sound, even if you don't have a script, you sound so scripted, you sound so false, it sounds so artificialized, rigid, and how on earth are you expecting to build some sort of connection relationship with someone when you're just, it's like the classic estate agent. That's always the example I go to, right?
Yeah.
Just be a human, just talk to me normally.
Yeah. I get that. Do you know what? Funny enough, that actually didn't bother me at all. I didn't mind. For me, it was just it was the pause and then the clear, and it might be because the first time I listened to it, I had it with headphones. You can hear it's recorded in a different place. There's a different echo to his voice.
Oh, I didn't pay attention. I was just too annoyed. I didn't hear that.
Stitched together.
Can you play it again?
Yeah.
Let me listen to it now. Gang, let us know if there's anything else that you picked up on here.
It's a different sound quality. So obviously what he's got is an automation AI thing where he just says people's names. It probably says you need to say hi, so, no. Goes through it and then they put it together. And then actually, and this isn't something that, but this really annoyed me. So I hadn't responded, sent the message on Friday. He sent a follow-up on Monday, which, by the way, if you're going to message someone on Friday, don't follow up with them on Monday because they won't have seen it. It was sent at 2:30 on Friday and then 3:30 on Monday. Like, I very rarely am able to look at my LinkedIn on a Monday. I'm too busy.
Right.
So, like, no, I haven't responded. What I don't like is I didn't respond and he responded to me, is that permission granted? And I was like, I really had to ask my wife because I had typed up a message which was no thank you. And then, by the way, silence is not consent. Me not responding is not permission. And I'm not sure why you thought it was, but it feels important to tell you that. And I think that might just be like my feminism being like, silence is not consent. But also in sales, someone not saying anything to you is not, like, you're allowed to keep going and sending messages, but you can't be like, okay, I'll assume that since you're silent, you want me to message. No, he just went from me going, oh, maybe I'd be interested, to I actually like couldn't care less what he does. He's annoyed me.
Yeah, that is very understandable, Tash. Do you know why? That is very understandable. That is weird.
Hello.
Oh, hey, my name is Stephanie Melodia. Have you got 2 minutes? Hi. Amazing. I'm great. Thank you. I have something extremely random to confess up front, straight at the top of the call. So I'm a podcast host and I'm actually sat in the studio right now with my co-host and we are live on the air. So first and foremost, need to make you aware of that because we are recording and may edit depending on how this conversation goes.
Which radio station?
Oh, it's not a radio, it's a podcast. So I host the UK's Top 20 business show. I interviewed a sales expert, and off the back of the success of that episode, we've now launched our own show called The S Word, which is all about sales, the dirty word that no one wants to talk about, the S word. And basically what we're doing is we're putting our sales expertise to the test right here live on the air. So it's very meta. We're doing this for the content as well as for real, speaking to people like yourself. And
Speaking of real, I have a actual meeting in 14 minutes, which I am just getting prepared for. So I do apologise.
Awesome. No, of course, don't be silly. This
is the world of sales, I guess.
No, exactly. No, totally get it. Your 90 seconds with me is already fantastic and very much appreciated. No worries. Thanks for the heads up. So basically what we wanted to do is obviously just put kind of podcast marketing on the radar for... I appreciate I don't believe that you are in the marketing team, but do you know if the brand has ever done any podcast collaborations before, or do you know who would...
I don't know that answer, actually, but again, I'd reach out to them. I'm sure you can find their phone number, but thank you for your time.
No worries. Do you know who would be the best person to speak to in the marketing team there?
I'm not sure. It's across different functions, but yeah, apologise.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
No worries. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye. It was like out the door, like, bye, I'm going.
Yeah, he didn't seem that interested.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
That you've just
got
riding on a high. She's
I totally forgot. I was like, okay, where's my commission?
She's checked out for the day. The cameras are still rolling.
Yeah, but back to Steph in the studio.
Thank you, Tash, reporting live on the front line. Gang, thank you so much for listening. We hope you've had fun. We hope you've enjoyed feeling like the fly on the wall, the third wheel here. I'm sure that you've learned something. I know I always do when I get to have these sessions with Tash. And I hope that we've also inspired you to pick up the blower. Like, this is such an overlooked opportunity in the world of AI, automations, tech. Sometimes you've got to do the things that don't scale. So good luck. Do let us know how you get on. We would love to hear from you. We'll leave the email in the show notes. Obviously, we're all on social as well. So find us. We always love to hear from you. And hopefully see you next time.
Bye.